Bang, bang, he shot me down. Bang, bang, I hit the ground. Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, my baby shot me down.
Hey guys, this is Bunky, soldering on with the new series. Stick around for more quality puns. But no, on a serious note, we are going to try and crack on here. I'm going to avoid getting my videos like the length of that Adept one. I don't want to be rendering and uploading 45-minute plus videos, and I doubt any of you want to sit around and watch something that long. And, unless of course you do, but you've probably rejected what most of society would deem normal. So we're going to jump straight into the build here. I absolutely love the Human Soldier, arguably my favourite, and it's all because of this power, Adrenaline Rush. What Adrenaline Rush does on activation, it completely refills the clip of your gun. So the moment you're out of ammo, you can hit Adrenaline Rush and your ammo's back, and you can just keep shooting with it. This is going to allow you to take some of those heavy hitting weapons whose main drawback will be their small clip size, and just double that clip size and produce something that's really overpowered. With Adrenaline Rush, there's sort of two approaches you can take with it. You can go for like a damage increase, or you can go with a shields increase. I said before, the human characters are incredibly squishy, so I'm going to recommend the shield increase. For your first evolution, go with hardening. This is going to decrease the amount of damage your health and shields are going to take by 40%. For the next evolution, though, I'm going to recommend melee damage, not because we're going to be meleeing, but because it's going to allow us to use Adrenaline Rush more often. So we're going to trigger that refill of our ammunition and the damaging decrease that we get more frequently. If we went for duration, that's basically going to put the power on once, and then it's just going to last for a set amount of time, whereas with melee damage it's only going to be on for a while, and then we're just going to be able to trigger it all over again and just keep refreshing it. So go with melee damage, and then finally shield boost is then, so that increases your shield strength by 100%. Giving you your best bet at survival. The other two powers this guy's got is Concussive Shot and Frag Grenade. I would only recommend going for either or. Concussive Shot's great, you can spam this, and it gives you great crowd control. You can detonate for your friends and stuff with it. It is good. It's going to save you a lot of aggravation, help you survive out there. But I love the Frag Grenades. I'm going to stick with them. They do really nice damage, and they've got I think they got superior crowd control, to be honest. In my opinion anyway. For the first evolution, I'm going to recommend damage. You don't need the extra radius. The default radius is 6.5 meters. That's more than enough to take out a room of enemies, especially the little troop enemies, because then we're going to go with bleed damage. This is going to increase the damage the organic enemies take by 50%, and then they're also going to take damage over time for 5 seconds. Normally you'll hit a trooper enemy with a frag grenade. If it doesn't die on contact, it's going to die a couple of seconds later. And then finally I'm going to go with Shield Overload. Armor Piercing is great too, but I'm going to have a gun that's going to chew through armor, so I'm just going to take these along to help me strip the shields of the boss characters and stuff. Then for your alliance training, for the first evolution you can go for either or, weapon damage or damaging capacity. I'd probably recommend weapon damage in most cases, but I'm going to be taking a gun that's so heavy it's going to sort of reduce the amount of times I can use Adrenaline Rush. So I'm going to go for damaging capacity to make my weapon lighter, so that I can use Adrenaline Rush more frequently. That's also going to give my grenades a big damage increase as well, so that's always helpful. Second evolution, then I'm going to go for power damage again for the same reason, and then we're going to get some weapon damage. I mean, you've got to get some weapon damage and you're a soldier, and then we got a 20% weapon damage bonus, and that's all good. For fitness though, I'm going to recommend all health and shields. So all bottom row, we've got durability, shield recharge, fitness expert. It's going to take your health and shields up to 8 to 5. That's going to give you your best bet for survival out there then. Now, for the weapons, like I said before, we're going to try and take some of those hard-hitting weapons that's got a really small clip and then basically double that size. I'm going to recommend the Claymore. It just works so... This is probably the best way to use the Claymore, really, with the Adrenaline Rush, because it's essentially going to turn this one-shot super weapon into a double-barrel shotgun. The mods I'm going to recommend for it, again, is going to be Smart Choke. This is going to reduce the spread. It's going to it actually allows you to snipe pretty impressive distances. Just reducing the spread of the pellets is going to be really helpful, and basically the more those pellets land on an enemy, the more damage we're going to do. So always go with Smart Choke on your shotguns, really. And then I'm going to go for the High Velocity Barrel. This is going to give us the damage increase, and then it's also going to help us you know, ignore armor to a certain extent and do some sort of penetration through walls. In the last video, I literally only talked about how that would help you with a guardian. That is not even the icing on the cake. I'll try and explain armor piercing in this video. But also remember that I did say that non-DLC weapons aren't affected by the extra weight. So yeah, go take the high velocity barrel. Basically though, you do just want to take one of those hard-hitting guns with a small clip for adrenaline rush. Or you want guns that sort of have a ramp up, so you can just sort of keep firing and not have to get it up to speed again. But I've got another build for that, and we'll talk about that another time. Right now, focus on your hard hitters. So you got the Claymore, Raid is another good one, Wraith, like I told you before, excellent. The Masochist, there is the Crusader. You can also go nuts with something like the Piranha and the Rika Carbine. I mean, they just feed out so much damage. It's crazy. And if you can just keep a stream of bullets with these things, because you can obviously just double the clip with Adrenaline Rush, you can do mental damage, but you won't. It's not going to match the satisfaction of a Claymore in this guy's hands, trust me. But obviously you don't need to limit yourself to shotguns. If you're going for a single hard-hitting shots, also sniper rifles are great. You know, you got stuff like the Widow. You've got the Javelin, that's amazing, so you can do two shots with those bad boys. The Mantis too, starting sniper rifle, not to be overlooked, still a very good sniper rifle. And then also there's things like the Black Widow. I mean, that's got 3 shots, this is going to allow you to shoot it 6 times. So, all good. Weapon mods I'm going to recommend for the sniper rifles, again, high velocity barrel. I'm also going to recommend more piercing. Again, I am going to touch on the whole armor piercing mechanic in this gameplay. For the equipment though, what I'm going to recommend for your ammo is going to be more armor piercing. There's 2 ways. You got armor piercing rounds, and if you haven't got any of them, there's drill rounds there, like an ample replacement. Armor piercing ignores more armor. Drill rounds go through thicker walls. I'd still say armor piercing's the best ammo, but drill is a really good replacement if you haven't got it. Another great ammo is obviously warp, that does additional damage to armor and barriers, so it's just great ammo. All give you a damage buff too. Phasic rounds are good, they are good, especially if you're going for the sniper human soldier. What phasic rounds do, they ignore a mechanic in the game called shield gating. We get it, the enemy get it. Basically, what shield gate does, it sort of like holds on to a portion of the shield so that an enemy doesn't lose both his health bars in one powerful shot, which you know, if you look at the damage with the Claymore and all this good stuff, you should be able to, but like the shield gate's going to try and save that enemy, so basically you're only going to take off his shields with the first shot, and then your second shot's going to finish him off. They've seriously reduced the amount of shield gating enemies get now, but phasic rounds basically means you can ignore it completely. So, you know, that's a decent ammo. It's not the priority, but it's there if you haven't got anything better. And then you can also go with the elemental ammo. You've got the fire, the electric, and the ice cryo rounds as well. Because basically if you shoot an enemy and then throw a frag grenade, you're going to get that type of explosion, and explosions are all good, aren't they? For your armor bonus though, I'm going to recommend getting a cyclonic modulator. Like, I'm going with a shotgun, so I'm going to be up close quite frequently. I'm human and squishy as hell. I just want maximum survivability, so get on your best cyclonic modulators, 3 and 4. If you haven't got one, power efficiency is good, because like I said, if you can spam Adrenaline Rush, you're going to give yourself a lot of survivability there. So power efficiency if you haven't got a cyclonic modulator. And for your gear bonuses, you can obviously, if you're not that confident on the battlefield and you do struggle with the sort of damage that the enemy deal, you can go for further help with that. You can obviously take Shield Booster, Stronghold Package, Survivor, Loadout, but what I'm actually going to go with is Shock Trooper. The Shock Trooper is going to give me 12% increase to shotgun damage and give me 2 extra grenades. So I think I'm going to have 4 frag grenades, which is always going to be useful. But obviously, if you haven't got that, you can go for the shotgun amp or the weapon amp, whatever you're using, because that's 15% increase to, you know, shotguns. That's going to get us ready now to jump into the gameplay. So let's go and do that. Right, here we go. I'm playing with my buddy Dominoes again, and my other buddy Techno Killer's joining us this time. The other guy, ME Universe, is just a sort of random that's joined us. Kind of cute, sent me a message before we started saying, "This is my first goal, do you mind if I tag along?" Yeah, it was absolutely fine. He did everything right. He was better than most randoms I encounter. He picked a gun and a character that worked well. He put equipment on. He used consumables. So he was never a burden, and I'd happily play with you again. So stick with gold, fella. You're doing it all right. I think I went ahead and picked the enemy for this game because every time I tried to get this footage, game just kept giving me the geth. It's like I don't want to fight them on anyway, but especially when I'm trying to capture footage when I just did the geth. I've shown you geth gameplay, so I wanted something different. So I've gone ahead and selected the Reapers. Dom's playing with his Drill Vanguard again, and Techno's been his Turian Sentinel, who's pink, by the way. I'm calling Dom over now to join me in the debate. He swears his Krogan's orange with like a purple highlight, but that's a pink Krogan. So seriously, give me a thumbs up if you agree. Right, so let's go hunt these Reapers down. And there it is. See that bang, bang. I fired my claymore. My clip was empty. Hit adrenaline rush. I was able to just fire straight away again. And that's the beauty of adrenaline rush, because literally you hit a brute with 2 claymore shots, and you know if you get him in the head, he's going to die. That's all it's going to take. Got a couple of enemies here, so I'll throw a frag grenade in, take them out. See, it's good crowd control there. But you know, I'm not completely reliant on Adrenaline Rush to, you know, speedily get my shots out with the Claymore. There's an important little trick, and you'll find it in pretty much any game with guns, called reload cancelling. And essentially, you can get away with it in any shooting game I'm familiar with. I've always found a way to do some sort of reload cancelling. What reload cancelling does is... obviously, there's an animation. So when you reload your gun, there's like an animation that takes place before you're able to shoot again. And this can be quite lengthy, depending on certain guns. Most of the time, you'll get a lengthy animation on the power guns, because this is how they're balanced out. You know, there's a delay before you can start shooting again. So that's what they do to you. But you can sort of you can cut that reload animation in half with some guns, like the Claymore. Basically, what you need to keep an eye on is actually a little icon in the bottom left corner there, you know, the one that shows your ammunition and a little icon of your weapon. As soon as that red bar fills up, you're ready to shoot again, whether the animation agrees with you or not. And you can basically stop the rest of the animation playing once that bar fills up by doing a power. Now, I press Adrenaline Rush even when Adrenaline Rush hasn't fully recharged yet. Even though I'm not able to use Adrenaline Rush, I'll press the Y button as soon as that bar fills up, and then my character will just stop the animation as if it's triggered, and then I'm just able to shoot again. So that basically means I'm literally getting out my Claymore shots at like twice the speed you normally would. It's a really important trick, and you can use it on every single gun. You can basically use any one of your powers, or you can dodge roll, or you can run. Literally any like A button activity, or I'm going to go ahead and steal Techno's kill there. He wasn't happy about it, but he was taking too long for my liking. Yeah, but no, literally any A button or power button. You do actually have to have a power there. I mean, like as you can see, I've only got 2 of the 3 powers. I can't go ahead and press my LB power without it there. It's not going to work. So power button, A button, L. And also another cool trick with the characters that can't evade. I mean, the humans have got really good evade. That's one of the reasons why I like the human soldier so much, with Adrenaline Rush and the human dodge roll. But you know, characters like the Krogan, like Techno's playing, they've got no dodge roll. If you press a button to dodge roll, you'll do a reload cancel without actually, you know, going all over the place. So, you know, that's a really cool trick. You can do that with the Destroyer and the Krogans and the Turians, just sort of dodge roll. I still... just out of comfort, really, because it's basically I don't have to keep thinking too much about what I'm doing. I just sort of stick with pressing my powers to reload cancel. Dom's just going to get up. Just get... Now, Techno's not a point hole. He's just completely clueless. He he does not know there's a hack, and he looks like he was having fun, so I didn't tell him. me and the other two, me and Dom and the random, we're gonna just get the hack done. Makes the video a bit longer, but what the hell, you get to see more Claymore, and that's always a good thing. Okay, Adrenaline Rush dead. Right, let me get crack on with some of this armor piercing stuff. Right, what you need to know about armor is armor's basically it's unlike shields and barriers, which is basically a separate health bar on top of an enemy's health. An armor is essentially is its own health bar, but it's like a spongy health bar. I mean, it sort of absorbs a certain a set amount of damage per shot, so that basically making all shots weaker. And when you've got things that ignore armor, whether you're using armor-piercing rounds or you've got armor-piercing mods on, you're basically going to ignore how much damage gets sponged, essentially. So it's like when you've got the high-velocity barrel on, like the SMGs, for instance, that ignore 90% of armor, you're practically doing normal damage to armored targets. Then there's your shots aren't really, your shots are only 10% weaker. So high-velocity barrels are really good, apart from the assault rifle one, really, because the way I don't know why they did that. The assault rifle has the same high-velocity barrel the SMGs get, but most SMGs fire a damn sight faster than most of the assault. There's very few assault rifles that really benefit from the high-velocity barrel over like an extended barrel and a piercing mod together. They'll get the job done better. Even for platinum, to be honest, and people always want to go for that armor piercing for platinum because it's just so many bosses you've got to chew through. But even then, I'd still recommend going for extended magazine and a piercing mod for your assault rifles. The high velocity barrel with them doesn't give any extra damage, so it's doesn't for the SMGs either. But like I explained in the last video, SMGs don't do a lot of damage anyway. So ignoring armor is just is really what you want to be doing. Whereas it's like a lot of the assault rifles, they fire quite slow and deal, above average damage, average to above average. So I don't know. This I'm not. It almost feels like the developers don't really know what their assault rifles do, but it doesn't. It's like the Prothean particle rifle and the Typhoon are great to have the high velocity barrel on, but things like the Harrier and stuff like that, you go for the extended mag and the piercing mod. To be honest, you're better off doing that. But yeah, so basically it's just about it is just about all this armor ignoring stuff, all this armor piercing. It's two-shot the Ravager, boom. It's all about basically making sure your gun does the damage it's supposed to do against the armored targets, and you will and it all basically what you need to know is like ignoring armor. It caps at 90%. You can only ignore 90% of armor. You can never ignore 100% of it. So keep that into consideration when you're adding together your mods and your ammo and everything. But however, our wall penetration is limitless. So basically, if you went for with a gun that's already got piercing, like the Widow, and then you put 2 piercing mods on, and then you put armor piercing on, you will penetrate incredible amounts of wall. So yeah, it's never useless. I mean, being able to shoot. See, look at the frag grenade bleeding those cannibals to death there. That's what I was talking about earlier. It's never pointless to put a load of armor piercing on, so because it'll probably there is definitely some points in this vid I'll try and call them out if I see them, where I will just kill brutes and stuff through the wall, and that's because of all my stacking. And I do that with this guy because, like I've said before, humans are squishy as hell, and basically being able to attack through the wall is going to help me survive. But what I hope you're also noticing now is just how much I am getting away with using a Cyclonic 4 and my Adrenaline Rush for shield boosting. It's like I haven't used an ops pack yet, and it's only because look, I can just Adrenaline Rush and I will get half of my shields back. It's really quite nice. So it's given me a lot of survivability. I don't think I've died. Haven't used an ops pack, and I am one of the base human characters. They do die. Don't feel bad if you get dropped as one of these guys. They are soft, but you know, that's why I love the shield boosting stuff on the Adrenaline Rush. It really does kind of help your tank with them, and especially when you're going to go around with the Claymore, you kind of want to. I think this is the brute I killed through the wall now. Yeah, see? That's penetration. Giggity, giggity. But literally, like I said before, with oh, there's my first death. Ravager took me out. Couldn't get my Adrenaline Rush out, so I took the full hits, and it hurt. It's gonna happen. But like I said before, with the Human Adept, it's like you want to use a lot of soft cover. I recommend soft cover with just about every character, even like this. Well, okay, no, I don't. There's people like the Krogan Vanguard that just there's no reason to take cover; he cannot die. But in like most characters, it's just wise to just use soft cover. I mean, it doesn't limit your it doesn't limit your movements, and it keeps you out of harm's way. And you know, so you can just sort of, it's all about just waggling your control stick left and right and strafing essentially in and out of cover, rather than pressing A and literally just rubbing your back up against the thing like you're trying to work an itch. And that's really basically how you're going to survive most enemies in this game, with most characters in the game. And the humans have got a fantastic dodge roll. You really need to learn the enemy attacks. It's things like the Brute's charge and the Banshee's warp ball. They're very predictable. So you can just sort of roll out the way, and you don't even need to use soft cover when you're dealing with bosses. Then you can literally just stay in their face and just predict their movements. Of course, Brutes and stuff will try and catch you off guard. I'm going to use an ops pack there because the swarmers and goo is eating away at me. But you know, it's like with the Brute, he's not going to charge you until he's you'll see him like do like his whole like American football player pose. He gets ready for the charge, and then he just comes at you, and there is ample time to just roll out the way. I always opt for rolling to the left. The right. That normally gets me out the way better. And hopefully I'll get into a fight with one of these Banshees and I can show you dodging the warp ball. Now the thing you need to know about Banshees is that they have 2 attack modes, and it's really important to know, especially because obviously with the Geth I couldn't talk about this, but with the Reapers I can. There are obviously enemies that will sync kill you, and that's just sort of like a synchronized kill where they connect with you, and then basically there's a little animation that plays that just takes you out of the wave entirely. There's nothing you can do about it, and it's good to know how all of those sync kills work, because then basically you can play the game. See, with the Banshee, when she's teleporting, she has like a blue barrier around her. You can see like this little sort of particle effect around her glowing. And all she will do at this point is teleport at the enemy, at you guys, and try and insta-kill you. That's the first attack mode. The moment she starts casting powers at you, she shoots that sort of ball that chews away at you. That's her warp attack, and she does that scream when she's under a lot of pressure. When a lot of people are shooting powers at her, she'll try and do like a crowd control move where she does that big scream. That's like her Nova. When she's in that mode, she cannot sync kill you. That blue barrier I spoke about earlier is gone, and basically she's in. This is what like her casting mode. She walks around slowly and shoots powers. That's not to be confused when she stops teleporting for a moment and she starts walking. She will walk when she's in a teleporting stance. You just need to keep an eye out for that. See that all that squiggly crap that's coming off her. See, she's walking now. She's still in the teleport mode because all that's around her. So that's not to be confused. It is only when she's shooting her powers that she won't do her sync kill. When you can tell she's going to go back into teleporting mode when she basically she bows forward at you and screams with her arms spread open. That's her going back into teleporting and sync killing mode. So it's good to know them. I've read about the Brute is that his sync kill is set up by him beating his chest like a monkey and roaring at you. His eyes go red, and apparently at that point, he's ready to sink kill. But I find that quite unreliable. I'm just waiting here for these guys to gather up for a nice big missile. I find that quite unreliable. Brutes seem to be really... I can't predict the brutes sink kill. It seems to happen at random, but fortunately... it doesn't happen often. It's very rare for you to get sink killed by a brute. Most of the time he's just going to try and beat you to death. But, you know, just stay wary, you know. I would say, because the Banshee's the only enemy in the game with a sink kill that doesn't have to set up the sink kill. If she comes close to you, she'll kill you. You know, she'll just take you out of the game. Whereas all the other sink kill enemies have to do a melee attack before they can sink kill you. And don't think that's a melee attack on you. That means just doing a melee attack. They can attack one of your teammates. They can miss everybody. As long as they've done that melee attack, their next move can be a sink kill. What you need to do is try and get them to shoot or something so that they reset it, basically. But no. So with the brute, if you're ever in a situation where he's throwing a lot of punches at you, I'd probably just keep your distance then, because that's probably him working his way up to a sink kill. But again, don't fret about the brute sink kill too much. It is very, very random, actually. It doesn't seem to happen too often. But the Banshee, yeah, when she's teleporting around the place, keep your distance. Keep a safe distance from her. Not like what Dom was doing then, but I don't think he knew she was there then. She'll do that. Like she said, she teleports through walls. You can just be strutting about, and then she'll just come through a wall and take you out of the game. There is nothing you can do about a situation. All you can hope for is that you can roll away quick enough, or your teammates can call her out before you're in any trouble. Like, shit, she's on the other side of that wall, watch out, kind of thing. But yeah, she will do it to you. She'll just come out of nowhere and kill you. It's quite annoying. That's the most annoying sink kill in the game, really, because it is really cheap. She can just do it and just bomb them. What I'll try to explain as well with these gameplays, I think I'm gonna have. I'm sure I've got more builds than there are maps, so I'm gonna probably have a better opportunity, just because I know I didn't cover it in Ghost. I'll probably get to play that again, especially with the Hazard map as well. It's like there are key spawn points on the map, and by that I mean there's these points on the map where the enemies appear, you know, they attack from. That's their starting point, and they normally group up there, and then they'll spread out then to come and get you guys. But when you learn those spawn points, you can really take advantage of the enemy then, because you can obviously after wave 6 I like to start taking out a spawn to speed the waves along and cause you less aggro, because that's when you get a lot of boss enemies after that point, and they take a while to kill. That's why I'm not a fan of Platinum, really, because their bosses aren't fun to fight. As much fun to fight as the trooper enemies. There's not a lot of feedback in what you're doing there. They're basically just big damage sponges. They walk at you with a big health bar, and you just have to whittle it down. It's not like you can't send them flying and all that kind of fun stuff. So you know, I get a rocket out, and I'll take out a big spawn at the start of the start of the wave. Move things along. But it's like one of the big spawns are on this map, for instance, right down there, down those stairs that I'm looking at now. That's a big spawn point. At the back there where I just looked, basically in that sort of lab area right at the top, right at the back there, that's another big spawn point. And hopefully I turn to it now. Down there, in that back room there, that's another big spawn point. And those stairs over there on the left, over there, that's another huge spawn point. And basically you can just from wave 5 is a good wave to nuke as well. They do put a lot of nasty enemies. There's quite a bad collection of enemies on wave 5, so you can nuke that one too if you want. Just right now I'm just taking out all the targets, getting them out done quickly. We're just going to missile them. But you know, you can. But it's like they're the spawn points. It's like you can. It's like with spawn points, you need to try and keep an eye on where your teammates are at, because what the enemy are going to try and spawn in a position that no player is at. So you know, it's basically just so that you don't see enemies come out of thin air. It's supposed to sort of it's supposed to sort of make the game run a bit smoother. To be honest, you're gonna come around the corner, and then you're gonna find the enemy because they spawn just out of sight. I'm going to save that guy there because he was getting grabbed. Because that's the thing, you can save teammates from sink kills by staggering
the enemy that's doing it. Now you can stagger the enemy with a move that's got a lot of force in it. There are numbers for it. I know, like the Phantom needs like 1,000 force to be staggered, and I'm sure the Banshees, Brutes, and everything's got their own force. You can stagger them by just having a lot of force in your attack, or just by doing a lot of damage in a very short space of time. That will also just basically the force will be in that like sort of concentrated attack there, and that'll help them drop it. And then of course, when all those fails, you can just whip out a rocket and just vaporize the enemy before they take out your friend there. But see them all down there in the big spawn point. That's because all my teammates are at the top, and here I'm at LZ, so they're basically forced to spawn in that place there, and then I can just throw a ton of grenades and stuff there and pick some pop shots, and I'm just going to do some good damage. But that's what I recommend at the start of those later waves, is to just look where your teammates are, and then rush to one of the big spawns where no one's standing, and you can probably get a nice rocket there and just sort of speed the waves along. We're wrapping things up now. This is obviously, there's just over a minute left for extraction. This was pretty painless. No Medigels used for this game. One ops pack used. That's for the base human. I ended up using... No, sorry, we can carry 6 ops packs now, can't we? Thanks for that, BioWare. No, so 2 ops packs used. And this is a nice example. I think here I'm going to get myself into... I'm going to be a bit too reckless here, and I'm going to get myself in a bad situation, but I'm going to survive it using Adrenaline Rush and not an ops pack. If I remember correctly. I might just be embarrassing myself here now. See, there goes all my health. Adrenaline Rush, shields back. So I'm able to survive that. I think I get killed after it though, but that's because I tried to revive this guy. Yeah. So there goes my only Medigel. Someone's going to nuke them to help me get out. Get us a little kill streak. Thank you. Random. You see, there you go, using consumables to save me. So always a pleasure to have somebody on our team that's going to do that. And that's full extraction. So yeah, that was a pretty decent gameplay. It was smooth with there wasn't any trouble really. I don't think we encountered any trouble. Obviously, I think Dom got sync killed a couple of times, but that's the risk you take as a vanguard. Like I said, it's about knowing your enemy that can do that. So you know, if you can charge that Banshee like crazy if she's firing her own powers, but if she's teleporting about the place, or she's got that blue like aura around her, you keep your distance. Don't go in there. But that wraps us up now. So I'm going to bid you farewell, and I'll see you in the next video.